Ladies and gentlemen, live from Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 2298 of the show. Like I promised you, because of time constraints, I was unable to bring you the report for AEW Dynamite / Collision last night. As you know, because of in fact, I think TNT wanted to get their movies out of the way. Not only that, Stanley Cup playoffs are going to be going. In fact, the Stanley Cup final will be on TNT, and that's probably the reason why AEW is pulling taking a 4-hour time slot for last night and this coming Wednesday, and so the Panthers and Oilers will be going at it in the Stanley Cup final. The winner will be Stanley Cup champion. Will the Panthers repeat, or will the Oilers get their first cup since the days of Wayne Gretzky? So we'll find out for sure what the heck is going on there. So as you know, Fyter Fest. It's Fyter Fest 2025 Event Center for both Dynamite and Collision. So instead of say Dynamite Collision Event Center, it's going to be the Fyter Fest 2025 Event Center. Woo! Say that 5 times fast. Epa. Kodesh Kapash. Anyways, I'm half Portuguese, so I speak a little bit. The lovely, the gorgeous, and curvaceous, and babylicious, the AEW Women's World Champion, the timeless one, Toni Storm, addresses the tag team matchup as her and Mina Shirakawa join forces against the team of Julia Hart and Sky Blue. So, and then she knows that Mercedes Moné will be at ringside commentating. So there's that. Tony Schiavone interviewed Will Ospreay. It seems like Ospreay's fed up with Swerve Strickland to the point where he's going to have to fight him. And we'll see how Hangman Adam Page's thoughts and feelings on that. But then Crew interrupts Will Ospreay. It seems like... and then there was a challenge issued by Will Ospreay to Leo Rush, and that match is happening. So... Then you got Mark Briscoe addressing Jon Moxley, and from last week, as you know, Mark Briscoe is challenged Jon Moxley to match, but it's not for the AEW World Title. It's not about the title. It's for him something personal. And Mark Briscoe and Jon Moxley were fighting it out. As you know, the Death Riders, they always have to cheat somewhere because Marina Shafir and that crackhead version of Bruce Lee, Wheeler Yuta, decided to get involved during the matchup. So, and Moxley ended up picking up the victory via submission with that sleeper hold of his. And there's Mystico, formerly known as Singata, promo vignette as he makes his return next week to the summer blockbuster of 2025. Mercedes Moné joins on commentary but before the matchup she summoned a steak dinner and she wants to, and so as that was going on, timeless Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champion 4 times, and Mina Shirakawa. I want to see how these two will survive without Mariah May being there, because as you know, if you guys have watched NXT this past Tuesday, you should be ashamed of yourselves. And you know what? And your punishment is I'm going to spoil this. Mariah May has arrived on NXT. I'm not kidding you. You don't believe me? Watch the program. Watch the show. You know, it's Adventure Time. Anyways, so Toni Storm and two of my favorite ladies actually in AEW right now. My other favorite lady, Harley Cameron, is recuperating from an injury she suffered at Double or Nothing. But Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa went up against Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Julia Hart, the former women's TBS champion, and looks like the team, the SS Hotties, that's all I like to call them. Storm and Shirakawa ended up winning that matchup. And then Toni Storm goes over after celebrating with Mina to Mercedes Monet's food and basically eats it. Loves the steak and washes it down with some wine. Toni Storm's hilarious. You gotta love her for that. And then Legendary interview Will Ospreay about his match against Swerve Strickland. And then MJF and also his matchup also against Lio Rush. And MJF interrupts Will Ospreay to the point and starts annoying Ospreay to the point where he brings up his son and he went after him, and then MVP's accepting and he says, hey, it's okay. Now we got some business to attend to. And then the Hurt Syndicate introduces the Denver crowd. And then Jet Speed and Commander came out, and Commander challenges MJF to a matchup, and because Commander's ticked off on MJF. And then there was a trios matchup as Jet Speed, that's Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey, team of Commander against Los Facción Ingobernables, LFI, there's Rooster, Arlistico, and the Beast Mortos. And then, heck of a matchup, high-flying matchup, brawls all over the place, chaos abound, and Jet Speed and Commander end up winning the matchup. The Hurt Syndicate comes out and said, congratulations, we accept your challenge next week, a trios matchup. And all six men decide to fight it out, and as Jet Speed and Commander stand tall in the end. Alicia, too, interviewed the Paragon and Daniel Garcia as they prepared themselves for an 8-man tag against the Don Callis family. And then Lexi Nair interviewed the Patriarchy as Christian Cage revealed to the Ring of Honor television champ Nick Wayne, as due to his failure to win the Best of Super Juniors tournament, ended up having to defend the title in a fatal 4-way matchup. And Max Caster, or as I like to call him, Max Bastard, Platinum Max Bastard, decided to issue yet another open challenge to who would last 5 minutes with who survives 5 with the best wrestler alive. Powerhouse Will Hobbs comes out. I'm like, this is not going to be even a minute. I said, well, I was right. 48. Hobbs beat Black Mass Caster in 48 seconds. I highly doubt Platinum Max Caster would last that much in the bedroom, for goodness sakes. Anyways. So, the fatal 4-way for the international title, Kenny Omega, Brody King, Claudio Castagnoli, and Mascara Dorada, formerly known as Grand Metalik, all came out to fight for the title. Omega retains. Then Kazuchika Okada comes out, confronts Omega after the matchup, and then they started fighting it out. But it was announced at All In Texas, winner take all. The Continental title, the International title, will be on the line. Both men will walk out. Will it be known as just the International title, or will they combine the two names to become? And will AEW has its own Intercontinental champion? That would be an interesting situation, to say the least. Will happen. We'll see what happens at All In when those two gentlemen go at it. Well, Ricochet addresses Fyter Fest. He said, and he's going to come out as Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness take over the Collision portion of it. Will Ospreay goes one-on-one with Lio Rush. Ospreay wins the matchup, but then Action Andretti takes on Ospreay after the matchup. And but then Lio Rush joins in until Hangman Adam Page comes out and the crew retreats. Then he addresses the crowd. He says, I'll stand behind Will Ospreay, but there's no way I'm helping out Swerve Strickland. I mean, those two had so much. And I'll tell you one thing: those two had so much bad blood. Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, to the point where Hangman says, "I'm not going to help him." There'll be one day Hangman Adam Page, and he's not going to. He says he's not going to accept Strickland's help to become AEW World Champion. And I'm telling you, right here, right now, there'll be one day that Swerve Strickland's going to make sure. In order to protect. Sometimes there's an investment to protect Mr. Page, and you're going to need his help if you want to get that world title off of Moxley. And You know, even Will Ospreay says this: the reason why AEW sucks right now because you're the champ, Jon Moxley. So Jon Moxley confronts Page, but then the Death Riders surround the ring. But Ospreay comes back out with a chair, and decided that Death Riders decided to retreat. And then Lexi Nair interviewed Don Callis' family, and it seems like they added another member, so to speak. Hechicero joins forces with the Don Callis family as they decided to join forces against in a trios matchup later on. Speaking of luchadors, Atlantis Jr. and Templario went up against FTR. FTR wins the matchup, and FTR addresses the crowd after the match, saying, "Any more tag teams that could take us on?" Meanwhile, Bandito, the Ring of Honor World Champion, and Los Outrunners, they decided to wrestle in a luchador match, which was pretty funny. Took on the team of Hechicero, Kyle Fletcher, and Konosuke Takeshita. Talking about, again, internationally flavored team here. We got, Don Callis is. I gotta give it up to Don Callis though. He's pretty smart of picking and choosing who his members of his family is. If Hechicero's a member, he's got. Don Callis has got himself an international conglomerate. I mean, they should call themselves the Callis conglomeration, for goodness sakes. Get the conglomerations over. I mean, think about it. You got Hechicero from Mexico, Kyle Fletcher from Australia, Konosuke Takeshita, the newly married Konosuke Takeshita, as I might add, because the fact that Konosuke Takeshita married Yuka Sakazaki recently. Thanks and congratulations to both of them. And Don Callis joined on commentary, and his team ended up winning the matchup. So we had Don Callis' family, Konosuke Takeshita, Fletcher, or as he likes to call him, Perushita. And Fletcher and Takeshita and Hechicero ended up winning that matchup. Meanwhile, Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne addressed what happened to Anna Jay and the now injured Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron took one in the nose and said, and he decided they're not done with Anna Jay. They have her, so he should have bowed down. And they were attacking her, dragging her out to the backup. But who is going to help her that Harley Cameron's been taken out? And I don't mean on a date either. I wish I would take Harley Cameron out on a date, but that's might I digress. And but returning is the wife of Sammy Guevara, and that would be none other than Tay Mello. That's right, she came back to help her best friend Anna Jay. It was like Tay J's back together, and believe me. Now, what would happen if Harley Cameron returns from injury? Gonna be an interesting situation. Meanwhile, Lexi Nair interviewed Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowens, as Anthony Bowens addresses going one-on-one with the 5-2 play. So there's that. And then Ricochet comes out to watch the next match and to join on commentary as Nick Wayne defended the Ring of Honor TV title in a fatal 4-way against Sammy Guevara, Big Shotty Lee Johnson, and AR Fox. And during that matchup, Blake Christian gets involved, but Nick Wayne retained the title. Meanwhile, the Toxic Spider Tekla has made her debut. And you know something? I just realized. Tekla is also she also had a feud with Mina Shirakawa during their days in Stardom. And they addressed the fact that the reason why she was fired from Stardom because she attacked Taro Okada. And now made her AEW debut against Lady Frost. And Tekla ended up winning the matchup, but then she attacked Lady Frost after the match. But then Queen Aminata came to Frost's aid as Tekla retreats, and Queen Aminata issued a challenge to the Toxic Spider, Tekla. So, 8-man tag team matchup to finish off the main event. As Daniel Garcia and Paragon, that will be Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and the TNT champ Adam Cole, against the Don Callis family. That would be the team of Lance Archer, Josh Alexander, and RPG Roppongi Vice, Trent Barretta, and Rocky Romero, and then Don Callis and Matt Menard join on commentary. But Daniel Garcia and Paragon ended up picking up the victory, and that's how you end the Fyter Fest 2025 Event Center, the AEW. All I can say is it was so there will be no collision this Saturday. So besides Saturday, we already got a full deck ahead of us here. We got Worlds Collide. We got Money in the Bank, and we Rant and Rave will be just the three of us stooges, Mo, Larry, and Curly. I'm Curly. I'm just kidding. Brandon Martin, Jordy Scow, and myself will be reporting. We'll be making our picks and predictions for Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide. Lots, and I do have a topic, and it ain't going to be addressing what happened over the weekend, technology-wise and all that. I already addressed it on a separate video outside the show, of course. But it is about gaming. It is about gaming, so I suggest you tune in tonight and the Brandon Martin channel at 8 o'clock. I can't wait to talk about this actual topic of mine. I'm really excited. So yeah, I'm wearing my Bullseye shirt. I'll be playing this tomorrow. I'm really excited about it. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, Against All Odds. I think I'm going to watch that as well with SmackDown. Oh, wait a minute. Showing what Jordy could be on because of the... Wow. Got a lot on my plate over the weekend. Whee! Have a lot of fun with it. Okay. I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed day, everybody. Much love to you guys. A lot of respect. Tell all your friends about this channel, please. Tell them, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and tell them you'll have a great time with me. I'll be keeping you smiling and say, Eric Lima is cool. Okay, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed day. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 telepictures and distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.